folks. This is more healthy life tips for you today. This is Ray, the old school bodybuilder. OneSetMax.com. The magic question. People have so many questions about diet and fitness. And it's amazing because, like anything else on the internet, is information overload. Years ago, back in the day, I studied biology as a means to get a better understanding of the human body. And, you know, like I said before, in the old days, the doctors were the only ones that really knew about nutrition and health and fitness. Everybody kind of just ate naturally because, 50 years ago, sugar was like the main drug. Now there's all kinds of chemicals in the food that we eat, in these sports drinks and so forth. They're using a lot of steroids in the animals, things like that. The magic question, what to eat today? You can easily get that information anywhere. Most people are fat because they're lazy. Let's face it, that's just the bottom line. Not only so much lazy where they don't want to exercise, but they don't want to learn about what's healthy for them, or they don't want to take the time to make healthy meals. Because let's face it too, it's quite easy to go and get a box food and McDonald's and things like that. Don't be lazy. Love yourself. You deserve it. It's all about you. Don't worry about the rest of the world. All you have to do is eat a well-balanced diet every day. Take a copy of this picture. Eat this stuff every day, right? Just what you see in this picture. Okay? I see fish, I see eggs, I see chicken. Okay? Look, I even see some chocolate over there on the bottom. Okay? Fruits and vegetables are paramount. They're paramount. Okay? Water, paramount. Very important. I read about a guy named Victor Richards. He was a guy from Canada back in the 70s and 80s. The bodybuilders weren't really that big, even the guys that were taking steroids, because the weight equipment didn't allow us to do that mega volume of weights that you see these guys lifting over 1,000 pounds on the machines. Years ago, we didn't have the proper leg machines to do our legs, and we had to hoist the weights on our back off the ground, and then they started coming up with all these machines. So the pieces of the puzzle were put together. Now you see these massive individuals. And even so, for the average person, this applies, okay? Now, you want to eat a well-balanced diet every day. However, vegetables is the forgotten protein. This fellow, Victor Richards, I read an article about him back in the 80s. And all these bodybuilders went out to eat. And it was like a big thing when the bodybuilders go out in public because, it's a basic, simple equation. You want to eat less calories, okay, than you burn. So if you're burning 2,000 calories a day from your exercises that you're doing, okay, you want to eat less than 2,000 calories because even if you're on a massive workout, I see this happen a lot, okay? People go out and they'll do minimum amount of exercise. They'll expenditure minimum amount of calories, okay? And they'll eat more calories than they're working out. And even with them working out, they still do not lose fat, okay? You have to eat less than what you burn. That's just a bottom line. It's just the bottom line. Okay, so vegetables is what this fella called the forgotten protein. While all the other bodybuilders were ordering steak, chicken, and fish, okay, this guy wanted the big giant salad. Okay, So vegetables, if you're a vegetarian, it doesn't mean you won't get fat. Okay? Because it's sheer volume that gives us excess fat, as well as eating the bad sugars. Okay? So don't confuse volume with your choices. In other words, don't think just because you don't eat no cupcakes and McDonald's and things like that, all right, don't think that you're not going to store fat. Because again, if your volume of good food, healthy food, on a well-balanced diet, if that is more than what you're burning off, you're still going to store fat in your body. There's just no two ways about it. More so for the men than the women, but if you build more muscle mass, your body will burn more fat naturally. Okay, and I don't want to get into that because it gets a little technical, because it gets judged by how low your heart rate gets when you're at rest. Okay, but that's something else. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, but don't confuse volume with your choices, because your choices are easy. It's easy. It's so easy. You look at this picture that I got here for you. Eat what's on that picture. Okay? It's very easy. That's your choice. Okay? So I'm going to go in this picture and I'm going to look at that avocado. I'm going to look at that carrot. I'm going to look at that cheese. I'm going to look at that eggs over there. Okay? Even the bread. It's my choices. I'm going to have whole wheat bread as opposed to white bread. Okay? Things like that. Now, those are my choices. It's a very simple thing. So I'm going to eat that carrot instead of eating a Twinkie. It's a simple choice. But don't confuse your choices with your volume. Okay? Because if I eat enough of those carrots, I'm still going to get fat. You gotta be consistent. Okay, be consistent and you'll never even have to think about it. Now, me personally, I do this old-fashioned Italian thing that I learned from my grandmother. My grandmother ate the same exact thing for breakfast and lunch every single day of her life. Okay? And, you know, it was a minimal diet. An egg, hard-boiled egg with a piece of toast, and it was kind of weird, but she put her tea in a bowl. Okay, and she would put the bread in it. And for lunch she had a sandwich. And that was it. Maybe, you know, a sandwich and a piece of fruit. Okay, and then for dinner she ate whatever we cooked, you know, whatever we had. Okay. So be consistent. If you're consistent, you'll never have to think about this stuff. Because it's simple. It's a simple thing. Remember in the last video when I taught you how we learn from nature, okay? Lions and bears, and wolves, and even fish, okay? When they're on their journey every day, gathering their food, it's a consistent diet, okay? You know, a bear might eat some honey out of a tree. He might catch some fish, okay? And I believe some bears eat small rodents, okay, and things like that. So it's a consistent diet by nature. So that's what you have to go by, okay? Be consistent. You'll never have to think about it. Now, me personally, what I like to do, because again, I judge my calorie intake by what my output is going to be. In other words, if I know I'm going to have a huge workout tomorrow or the next day, or I know if I'm going to have to, you know, do something physical, like when it snows, okay, I load up on the calories a couple of days before, because I know I'm gonna use them calories to expenditure the energy to do what I have to do, whether it be working out or work. Okay, so judge by what you do physically in your life. And again, do not confuse the volume with your choices. Okay? Now, by now you gotta know. You know which foods are healthy, and you want everything in moderation. Okay? You gotta know what foods are healthy. Everything in moderation. Okay? If you look at this picture, and believe me, when I have massive workouts, okay, and I have a physical job too, and I know I gotta move things that are heavy, okay, or I gotta use a wrench on something that's really tight and things like that, and it's gonna be all day long on my job, okay, I'll eat everything in this picture. Alright, and then I'll adjust it. If I know it's coming to the weekend, I'm gonna be sitting around, I lower the calories, I lower the intake. I don't count the calories. Do not count your calories. We used to count our calories. There's even a formula for figuring out how many calories you need from fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Don't do that. Okay? It's a waste of time, and over the years I've discovered, however close we got, it was very inaccurate doing it like that. And a lot of people disagree with me, okay? But to me, it's just a waste of time. Counting calories is a waste of time. You want to go in volume, okay? Portions, okay? Count in total volume. Forget about calorie counting. Okay? Now, when you do total volume, it's so much easier than counting calories. Okay? Now, what I like to do to make sure I have a well-balanced diet, I'll do certain weird things, like I'll eat chicken for a couple days straight with my vegetables, and I'll eat beef for a couple days straight. Okay? Then I'll just have vegetables for a couple of days straight. Understand? And then yes, there's even times when I'll go a day or two and I'll eat sugar. Okay? Ice cream is my weakness. Chocolate ice cream. Count in total volume. Forget about calorie count. Consistency in everything is the key to pretty much everything in life. Okay, if you want to save money, if you want to be healthy, if you want to, get things done around your house and your job, okay, consistency is in everything is the key to succeeding and achieving and accomplishing. Okay, you have to be consistent. Think of it like building a wall over time. Okay, and these two red photos on the top, okay, that's inconsistent building of a wall. One is in shape and one is in color. You see the inconsistency of it. Now, the color one to the left isn't really that bad. It does look pretty solid. Okay, that's like your weekend warrior who goes out and binges on some booze and maybe he'll smoke a cigarette and do some stupid stuff like that on the weekends. The one on the top right, it's inconsistency. It's just a bad wall. It's just never going to hold up. Okay. Now, our beautiful blue wall here on the bottom, you see it's got some shades in there, but it's a solid wall. Okay. It's a solid wall, and it takes time. You gotta have patience in this all. You gotta remember, don't make it a chore. Make it a way of life, okay? I'm gonna be practicing health and fitness until the moment that I die. And you should too. You have to love yourself enough and understand that this is about you. This isn't about how you're gonna look, because that's just a byproduct. This isn't about how people are going to judge you, okay? Because that's just a bon mot. That's a joke, okay? That don't even have to exist, all right? This is you deciding that I'm not going to let anything in the world disrupt me from loving myself and taking care of myself. Because if I do that, it's going to make everything in my life easier. Whether it be mental, physical, or emotional, or spiritual, okay? Everything, it's going to make everything, I promise you, if you make it about you and make it a personal thing, you will never go wrong and you will live a wonderful, healthy life, okay? With minimal amount of sickness and injury, and even if you do, something does happen, God forbid, you'll be able to fight it off much easier. This is Ray, the old school bodybuilder. I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. I got a lot more great videos coming for you. Stay healthy. Be consistent. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it complicated. Take care.